hanging out with him. I had the opportunity to hang out at Continuity Studios, where Neil Adams, that was his company. And I remember going to some of the cons when Neil, they would do the portfolio reviews. The guys would bring their drawings up, and so Neil would look at it and he would say, "Okay, here's your art here. This is something that's being published by Marvel DC right now. Does this look like that? If that didn't look like that, then you need to go back to the drawing board and basically until this sort of looks like up to that level, you're not going to get work." And that's something that Peter David, I think, had said one time. Is he's talking to Harlan Ellison, who's a great sci-fi writer, and he's like, if you get in your head saying that, well, I can do better than that, he's like, yeah, you're right. You better do better than that if you want to get work in, if you want to get work in the industry.
I always thought, like, style, like, anytime someone, like, it's always a trip, because I'm still very much on the come up. Like, I have a following, I'm doing pretty good, I've been publishing, yada, yada, you know, but I don't consider myself, you know, because I'm still trying to work my way up. But when I'm at like a show, like a convention or maybe a free comic book day event or whatever, and so people see me up there next to the other people, like, so they just assume, you know, because they're just, you know, they just guess. So it's like, oh, wow, he's dope, so you're sitting next to him. You must be dope, too. So it's like, so then it's like, your line's a lot shorter. I'm not going to pay attention to that. I just want to talk to you and maybe ask you some questions. And they'll sometimes, you know, you get some other creators where they want to, like, ask me for advice or, like, what do you think of this and stuff. And they'll be like, some people, they'll start off with, you know, my drawing's not that good. That's the number one thing I hear. Even if it is respectable, they'll be like, it's not good. I always tell them, and, you know, of course I advocate this because I'm not the cleanest illustrator. I'm more of a, like, I discover the drawing versus I'm drawing it.
That's the style.
But but I always tell them, like, don't get so caught up in your style or what it's supposed to be. There is a successful, you know, comic that looks like this. There's a successful comic that looks like that. And and it's just everything. Cartoons, movies. There's so many different ways you can approach a medium. Don't get caught up in what the art is. Get caught up in your storytelling. If you can do good storytelling, if you know how to craft a story, it super doesn't matter what your drawing is like.
And so, two things behind that. So I think that's one of the benefits of the 90s is that people's palettes, if you will, broadened a whole lot where they realized everything didn't have to look like this to be considered good.
Yeah,
it just didn't. So style is style. So really what it is the craft piece. So I think when you look at today, that's what a lot of people are responding to. They're responding to the lack of craft.
Yeah.
They're responding to the fact that this is a story that doesn't make sense. There isn't an establishment shot. There isn't a bird's eye view. It's just like, why are you picking this angle for this particular scene when you could be something else? Even though people don't understand all of the intricacies behind craft, it's kind of like, I don't know good art, but I know what I like.
Like, you can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it because you can tell when somebody's telling you a story. And then the other point to that is that I think Robert Crumb said something to this thing. Crumb. So when Crumb was like trying to get a thumb, he's trying to get a thumb just right, and he couldn't get it right. And the guy was like, look, that's a Robert Crumb thumb. This doesn't have to be this guy's thumb over here. Just do the best Robert Crumb thumb that you can. So what, at a certain point is that it becomes about, so you can say, oh, like Jeff Smith Bone. You can say, okay, Bone, it could be considered a cartoony style, but you realize there's a style of the draftsmanship that might be different than Captain Underpants. But Captain Underpants isn't meant to be what Jeff Smith is doing.
Right.
He's basically doing, for all intents and purposes, and I don't think you disagree, Pogo, which is a very kind of style that he was evoking. But it's like, if the story's good, you could be a Scotty Young.
Yeah.
And Scotty Young, that Rocket Raccoon series he did, I love that joint. And some of the stuff he was doing in terms of the storytelling, where he was doing some real Eisner-esque stuff in there, playing with words and pictures and stuff like that. It's like, I'll be stealing some stuff from in terms of writing.
He for real inspired me when, like, I found out about him, I think, when he was doing the Wizard of Oz series.
Yes.
So, like, I think he did, like, 3 different kinds or whatever. But I saw that and I was like, wow, the way that art, his style and the colors, I was like, this is dope. And I was like, I love the rough, like, it doesn't have to be clean for me to really like this. And, like, so now I do a sketchy style. Like, it's not really also, like, because it saves time, too. But, yeah, a sketchy style because I just like the way that looks.
Come on, Benny, man. The kid is a L7 Weenie.